Some more bad news for the right wing. Parler, as you'll recall, is the far right social media site that hosted very many questionable things, and many of which were illegal under the law, such as things like sedition, rebellion, threatening public officials, etc. Well, they were taken down by Amazon, which was hosting them. So Parler decided to essentially sue Amazon to have their service restored on their service. Well, and obviously they were also seeking to get damages and to be put back up. Well, as you can imagine, Parler didn't win in court. In fact, this is what the U.S. District Judge Barbara Rothstein said. The court rejects any suggestion that the public interest favors requiring AWS, Amazon Web Services, to host the incendiary speech that the record shows some of Parler users have engaged in. At this stage, on the showing made thus far, neither the public interest nor the balance of equities favors granting an injunction in this case. So essentially they're saying it's really not in the public good to host these people. Parler argued in its lawsuit against Amazon that the decision was based on political animus, and it was meant to benefit the competitor Twitter, which, a lot of people left Twitter after certain people were banned, and they moved over to Parler, and now Parler's been dropped because what they're doing is illegal. I mean, regardless of what your political stripe is, advocating to overthrow the government is illegal. Plotting to kidnap and assassinate politicians is illegal. And this is going to get you removed off of any social media in any country. I mean, there is no system that I've ever seen that allows threats to it to exist. Now, of course, Amazon argued Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which does protect internet companies from being sued over what users post, and it allows companies the legitimate right to reject hosting certain content. In other words, if you're going to hold them responsible, then they're going to decide what it is that's going to go on their service. I mean, in terms of the general society that exists today, I mean, that seems only fair. If you're going to hold someone liable, then they should be able to make the decisions for the most part. Now, the Parler CEO, John Matz, has called the suspension of his platform shocking and support for the bans absolutely disgusting. He's also said that he has received death threats and was forced to leave his home following critics linking Parler to the events of the Capitol, which they are. They are directly linked to it. That's where people were organizing the events that took place on the Capitol Hill only, 2 weeks ago? So it's kind of something, well, it's unfair that they're linking him to it. Well, yeah, your social media platform did. And you specifically created a place for those people to speak. So, yeah, you're connected to it. Now, as for the death threats, I mean, obviously, it's really threatening the head of a social media platform really isn't the best tactic you could have in a society under these conditions. But it's not like he censored the people who were threatening to kill politicians either, so there's kind of a huge amount of hypocrisy on his part. Because he was kind of looking the other way when people were doing this. Oh, yeah, and they stormed the Capitol looking to actually do it. Now, I'm not defending Parler or defending censorship. I'm just putting it out there what the laws are and what you could expect to happen if you did this in American society. My point here is to bring you the facts and the reasoning behind the actions of certain actors in this case. So don't take this as a defense or a condemnation of Parler, but rather a rational explanation of the situation and how it unfolds. But let's be real here. Any system is going to censor a threat to it. And these people very clearly do represent a threat to the United States government, if not the individual lives of individual members of Congress. And because of that, you are going to get censored. If the left was organized or powerful enough to present that kind of a threat to the United States government, they would do absolutely the same thing. In fact, I believe that in some cases, Venezuela Solidarity and organizations like that have suffered that kind of censorship as it is. So this is not surprising. This really should be expected, because that is the very nature of not just bourgeois society, but of any system that seeks self-preservation. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.